今天要给大家介绍的是迈阿密地区一位非常有名的国际法方面的大律师，他的名字叫 Peter Quinter， 他是迈阿密地区很著名的一个律师事务所的合伙人。Peter Quinter 在佛罗里达已经工作和生活了20-30年，他是一位非常有名的在迈阿密和佛罗里达已经执政很多年的大律师。Peter represents importers, exporters, customs brokers, international freight forwarders, and other companies involved in a myriad of industry sectors and international supply chain matters, such as regulatory compliance and enforcement by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, including U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Transportation Security Administration, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. In addition, Peter's practice includes skill in advising on U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulated products, such as food, dietary supplements, and cosmetics, and involving detained or refused merchandise. He also advises on the submission of petitions for removal of FDA import alerts. 如果在座的，比如说镜头前的您有一些法律或者是商业方面的咨询问题呢，完全可以找他。希望我们这期节目对您有所帮助。那么接下来呢，我们就会走进他的办公室，一起来了解他和他所从事的业务，一起来走进我们佛罗里达迈阿密著名的海关法和贸易大律师 Peter Quinter。
So again, this is a few of the times I was in the newspaper. I've been on live international television, CNN, CNBC, the newspapers, local TV, but this is some of the publications from the local Miami Herald newspaper. It was about how could such a busy lawyer spend time backpacking the Appalachian Trail, and I was able to do both. This is one of my more successful cases. I was in the Florida Trend magazine, and I've been one of Florida's most influential business leaders for several years now. Anyway, this was a case where some alleged counterfeit merchandise came in from China. We were able to prove it was not counterfeit, and Customs was forced to release it back to the owner. So this is some automobile parts that I was inspecting at the warehouse. So that happens. You know, I go out with the air and marine units, go with the auditors, the inspectors. I've watched how Customs operates, and now I understand it and use it to help my clients to get their cargo into the United States or from the United States to be exported to some other country with the minimum problems. Exporters and logistics companies able to move their cargo into or out of the United States with the least amount of bureaucracy. In the United States, like in other countries, there are a number of federal agencies that have regulatory authority over the imported merchandise or exported merchandise. A lot of forms, a lot of requirements, and inevitably something goes wrong with some shipment. So the company can't resolve it quickly or easily by itself, so they hire an expert like me. I know the policies of the agency, I know the people in the agency, I know the law, and I'm able to hopefully persuade, whether it's the U.S. Customs or Homeland Security or immigration authorities, whatever the problem is, to resolve it so that the cargo can be released and moved to the customer. So I represent, steamship lines, airlines, and of course the regular U.S. importers, exporters, terminal operators, trucking companies, bonded warehouses, general cargo warehouses, just about every part of the international supply chain you can think about of moving cargo from one country to another country. It's not limited to just U.S.-China. Of course, that's a big one.
It's everywhere with the United States.
Yeah, and it's true.
Mostly Miami, in Florida.
No, I'd say maybe 20% is Miami. The other major ports are L.A. Long Beach and New York, New Jersey Seaport, and JFK Airport, LAX Long Airport. A lot of the cargo coming from across the border from Mexico, and Laredo and El Paso is a huge part of my business. So it's really all around the country. Little ports like Buffalo and Denver International in the middle of the country. So this
particular area law are the same throughout the country?
Yes, it's federal. There's a United States Code and the Code of Federal Regulations apply uniformly throughout the whole country.
Okay, so even you have Florida bar, then you can practice everywhere.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Do you have to go in person to see all those products sometimes?
Sometimes I do, yeah. So I had a drug paraphernalia case in Long Beach this year, so I had to fly out there and meet with the customs personnel, and we were successful, of course. But But usually I can do everything by phone and email or video calls.
That's great. Just in case any Chinese customers or Chinese import and exporters have questions, they can just call you.
Of course.
And then hopefully, can solve the problem. Okay.
Right, that's the idea. Between email and phone calls, I resolve 90% of my situations. And it saves the client a lot of money, because if a cargo's sitting there for months, it can't be sold to the customer. It may not be worth anything after several months. And I'm able to, hopefully within 48 hours, resolve the problem, get the cargo moved to its destination.